Ha ha. Very funny, cat. Hello, folksicles. It is 9 o'clock Sunday night. It is time for not live in the studio session because Mel screwed up the title of this show. It is the Sunday Nighter. Now, if you've got a terrain question, the document is open. The link is in the description. Yeah, and I will answer those questions in a little while. But in the meantime, have you had a good weekend, folks? Let me know in the comments. You know the drill. Say hi. Oh, Gary's still on. We'll leave him on. He was the only pledger from the last show, so we're going to leave Gary on. Yeah. All hail the Mel. World of 28. Franz, Snowshot, Red Green, Cat, Pagan Shredhead, Tamsin, Max, Diggy, Rob Webb, 3 Yodas, Thorgan 3. That's a good one. Insane. Bill. Hello. You'll have to excuse me. I'm just doing me dial. It's not very fast, is it? Oh! Oh, it doesn't move at all. I like that. But where are the PayPal and Patreon links? Are they not on it? No, they should be on it, just below. They're on it according to me. Oh, Mel screwed it again. I'm doing well, Lefty, Miko. Pershov, I practiced that as well. Fred. Stammer. Dave, Fraz. We're doing well. We have been out on a jolly today. We have been to Red Green. Okay, Red Green, red on... Sorry, not Red Green. That's me looking at bloody, what you call it. We've been to Red on Blue in Nottingham, which is a war game show. Yeah, relatively new war game show in all honesty, yeah, but doing good things, and it was a good show. It's Jason. Hello, buddy. Yeah, we went along. There was me, Corbin, Jace drove, and then we took Fred from the studios with us for his first war game show, and he had a good time. Hey, Tim. Valeria Blumini. I like that name. It's minus 27 with wind chill outside. Damn. Yeah, everyone can see the links. Nice. Jace is punting the question. Nice. I'm just trying to get these to work. Kerry's playing some cash quiz with me mum in the kitchen. That's working okay. Right, just need to put that one on there. Push that through there properly, yeah. Oh, is that the wrong way? I think that may be the wrong way around. Is it? I don't know. No, they've changed them. Right, we're good. I've been fighting with Sculpty the last few days. Got some great info from the folks on the Facebook group. One of the best ideas you ever had. Yeah, watch out the terrainiacs group. The link is in the description. It's a great support group. Yeah, had a good day. Saw loads of people. Met up with Luke APS. We had a good natter and everything. And he's a lot better now. Turns out Luke APS is just for Tam. Because she mentioned it earlier, mentioned it last show. Turns out he's allergic to epoxy, milliput, green stuff, all that sort of stuff. What a git for a hobbyist, eh? So anyway, I made a purchase while I was there. I got Slave 1. But he didn't shoot the deputy. But just popped on my railway screen for a second. Got a train coming bound from across the Diamond. Okay then, dude. But no, it was a good show. Gotta have a giggle though. Poor sods. They got like a reenactment crew there. Okay, and you know they were reenacting World War II. Uniforms, and they got a load of kit. They got the German MGs, they got Brens, Stens, the German submachine guns, Lee Enfields, you know, we're all having a mess with all these things and that sort of stuff. Okay. And then I nipped outside for, you know, a nicotine break. And I was standing outside with the rest of the sort of war gamers, you know, having a smoke. And they brought these reenactors out, and it was obviously like for a few of them it was clear that it was their first show. because the guy who was leading the reenactors was teaching them drill, which was a big mistake at a wargame show. Because pretty much outside, and anyone who knows wargaming will tell you that wargaming has a lot of ex-service personnel in the hobby. It's quite a popular hobby with ex-service personnel, you know. And they started they started doing this drill, yeah. And these three guys who were learning drill, they were TikToking like crazy. Now, TikToking is this thing where when you try to learn to march, it's where your legs and your arms go in sort of the wrong order. And basically what you end up doing is, instead of marching, you know, like that, what you end up doing is you end up marching like this. Because you're trying to coordinate your arms, and it's called TikToking. Everyone does it when they learn to march, absolutely everyone. I don't know a single person who's learnt drill who hasn't TikToked originally. Me included, and Corbin when he was at the cadets. But of course, you've got these three guys learning to drill outside, surround, and all you could start to hear was sniggers. Just, and they're like, tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. And I was looking around and I'm making eye contact with not saying a word, just making eye contact. And you just see, you know, squaddy to squaddy sort of thing, you know. Were there any chindits? Actually, no. Warlord had some chindits, but the chindits were very few on the ground. What you call it? Some beautiful stuff coming out of Rubicon. What you call it? With Steve Perry. Yeah, he's doing some lovely stuff. Some nice diorama. He was showing me this plastic kit, and it comes with plastic fences. It comes with 70 inches of fences in the kit, gates, all that sort of stuff. So that's quite nice, and they've got a few different varieties. There's some nice stuff there. Yeah, loads of, you know, caught up with loads of people. Dave says, can't get the question doc to work. Let me have a look. Make sure that Bosicle has. Well, I don't see any. Can't save your recent changes. Copy and revert to an earlier version. What? Right, guys. Sorry about that. Seems to have a little glitch on it. It should be fine now. So if you've got a question, you can post it now and I'll keep an eye on it. Only goofy people do that. Never did that. Good coordination here. Course striking, and you never did that. Course you. Everyone TikToks originally. Everyone. Yeah, it's just one of those things. First time you've actually got to try and swing your arms in coordination with your legs. Yeah, it's weird because we do it every day. It's perfectly natural to us. Yeah, but the moment you try and learn to march, it all goes. Oh man, what a drag. I feel bad for Luck. What's he going to do? Well, Luck's relatively alright. I was chatting to him. He's taking on staff with his commissions and all that sort of stuff now. So like he says, anything involving the poxies, yeah, he just gets his staff to do. I mean, the thing is, he can handle it. Yeah, he's just got to be a lot more careful. He's got to glove up and that sort of stuff, because anyone who's done any sculpting with milliput or anything like that, you know, it's one of these things where you're messing, you know, you quite often use saliva with green stuff as a lubricant, so you're like, you know what I mean? And so he's just got to manage that, but it'll be absolutely fine. Lefty's asking, do you have any projects you're working on at present? Yes, the trenches are getting finished. They'll be finished next week. Huzzah! Yeah, and what you call it? We've got a Stalingrad table for Salute. Now, I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest, whether that's going to be done in time for Salute, because Foreground have sort of been slow on sending me bits. So I need to I need to get into that and get back onto it. Yeah. So we'll see how that plans out. How do you fix wonky internet question programs? I have no idea. I hope that... Oh, yeah. Whoever's posted... No, I've got 2 ones. I've got one from Dave, one from Golden. So your questions have come through, guys. That's fine. We'll wait until we've got about 10 questions at about past. Miscast has posted. You must have been the regiment you were in. That's fine talk, that is. That's fine talk, man. I wasn't in a regiment. I was in a corps. I was a combat medic. Well, okay, you've seen his golfer dancing, marching, maybe to... You can shut up, Diggy. Never wargamed, but terrain vids are so useful for my train sets. Yeah? No worries, Tony. You're welcome here, buddy. We don't mind you dirty railway people. I'm going to get so much grief because I know about a good chunk of you old railway people. Yeah, looks fine, mate. Trenches, can we see? Yeah. No, Gary, sorry, mate. I'm leaving you hanging.
Mama's gone.
Mama's gone?
Yeah, we did crap.
Really? Did you not win?
No.
Yeah? I'll tell you what I am a little bit gutted about. Yeah. You know while I'm working on the medieval series? Yeah, I've done a video on how to do thatched roofs. Yeah, I thought that's a cracking video. Then when we went to the show, we got a free copy of War Games Illustrated. And they've pretty much done the same tutorial in the magazine. Yeah, and it's like, oh great, that means everyone's going to think I've copied out of War Games Illustrated. Oh my life. You were in a core inside the apple? Oh, shut up, Dickie. Hey, Michael. Ah, no need to match. Correct. Oh, you can shut up, striking hand. Here we go. Hello, Gary. Tim? A question from Tim. So, yeah, I'm going to keep going until about past, then we'll do the questions, yeah? But it was a good show. I enjoyed it, and Corbin enjoyed it. Oh, Pally's rumbling. Yeah? Like, get back in trains. I ain't doing trains. I need to do wargame terrain. I told you about Kerry's new job, didn't I? Yeah, I did. So yeah, it's been a good week. Spent a lot of time, been back in the studio, finished off a few tutorials. The new camera is working lovely, and I've sorted out the audio with the mics and that sort of stuff. So we're all good on that count. Yeah, so overall, happy times. There are a few more people watching us this time. No, don't worry, I'm not going to play World of Tanks tonight. So how do you Brits figure army units? Squad, platoon, company, battalion, or is that brigade? Brigade is above battalion, mate. And you forgot regiment. Regiment is in between, is in between company and... Regiment is in between company and battalion, isn't it? I always struggled with it, because with it being with the... Because obviously I was a medic, yeah, which is the Royal Army Medical Corps. Now, we don't have regiments as such. We do have field hospitals and that sort of stuff. Field ambulances, well, we used to when I was in. Yeah, but we didn't have platoons, companies. I mean, originally I was Royal Signals, and then I transferred over to the medics. And the Royal Signals does work on regiments. And it was, it was squadrons, then regiments for the Royal Signals. We didn't have companies. Companies and platoons is an infantry term. Yeah? It comes from, from the amount of people you can know. So, for example, a company is typically about 3 platoons. Yeah? A platoon is typically about 30 blokes. Yeah, so a company is typically around about 90 blokes. Now, you can have 4 companies. At most, you can have 5 companies. Sorry, 5 platoons in a company. Yeah? Now, there's a reason for this. And the reason for it is that as human beings, yeah, the most sort of people we can keep track of, i.e. know as friends, and know that person, know a bit about that person, that sort of stuff, is about 140 people, scientifically, they've worked out. And so the company is formed around the idea that the company commander, at a company size, yeah, with say 5 platoons, a company commander can still be in a situation where he knows every individual in those platoons. Yeah, and he knows them personally by name, knows a bit about their background. And they know him, yeah, so he can command them. Once you go past company stage and you go up to regiment, that's when you get to higher command, where you don't really need to know your soldiers, because you're quite often not actually in the field with them. You're leading them from, you know, the rear echelon, the REMPs, yeah. So that's where the company comes back. Lindy does some videos on this. He did, yeah, he did. That's where I picked it up from. I like Lindy. We chat every so often. Jez now is scarier. Careful you don't get a second round of anything. Why? What's up with Jez? Is he still... I can't... Oh, a lingering... Since antibiotics, steroids and crazy inhalers. Now, you alright, Jez? I'll tell you what it was, Jez. It'll be that Nurgle bag. Hey, Larissa, I didn't see you there. Hello, Duck. Have you ever tried making 6mm miniatures out of cocktail sticks? No, I haven't. Hey, Chung, you alright there, dude? Hello, Ron. Future Marine Productions. Right, is that Space Marine or like Sea Marine? I found a grass mat that you were looking for. It was on Amazon. Oh, you Facebook me the link, dude. You Facebook me that link. I hope, fingers crossed for you, Jez. You right, Jace? Kids doing your heading? Never could keep the unit designation straight. No, what you call it? Lindy Burge, he's got some some good videos on platoons and companies and explains it. That's where I learnt it, but you know, obviously, that's where I learnt why it's the size it was and that sort of stuff. And then, you know, looking back at my armies, yeah, that makes sense. That, you know, that's a good reason. Oh yes, Jace is doing his what you call it now. He's doing his PayPal. We haven't got a target up. My phone's over there. I'll check it in a little while. Yeah. We are back to, I think we're back to fundraising for the studio setup now. Yes, we'll have to start afresh because I've pretty much blown everything on mics and everything like that. But it's looking good. The audio's sounding much better in my videos. Much better. I didn't realise how bad my audio was until I actually, what you call it, I actually did. And I actually had decent audio. I'm actually thinking about going to university and doing a media course. That lung battery and cold flu lingered on. Vic dragged me to hospital in a mess at 2 AM. Dude. Ron saying, really enjoyed your video on Jungle Train. Would like to make a battle board for Pacific Bolt action. I'm looking forward to getting back to it, to be truthful. Sorry, Shifting Lands got my hobby money. Who is Shifting Lands? I had the Nurgle bug a couple of weeks ago, still on. Hey, the steroids, dude. I tell you, this flu's going round, it's nasty. Well then, if you need more dog purrs, calm down, you. You already almost made me cry, dude. Hit the like button and make Mel smile. Hey up, Oddin. The flu is horrible this year. Yeah, what you call it? One of Corbyn's best mates. Yeah, it took his life, poor lad. I mean, literally, he was off school on the. He was in school on the Thursday, off school on the Friday, died on the Saturday.
Right, they're in bed.
Are they? Baby. Did you really just roll your eyes at me? You love me, really? Oh, she's not even making comments. Am I in that much trouble?
Oz, go lie down, look. Go lie down.
You know what's been with
Go
you?
lie down. Thing is, I can't move my chair. He literally parks himself under my chair.
Yeah, that's because you always have food. Yeah, but he doesn't know that. It's US Marines. Oh, right, okay. Shifting Sands. Right. Yeah, it's a monster. Yeah, nerd. I mean, Corbyn took it pretty heavy because he was pretty much like... Corbyn has this little clique at school of about 4 or 5 lads that he hangs out with, and he was one of the clique. You know, and Corbyn's gone all the way through school since nursery with this lad. You know, and so the flu took him. And I'll be honest with you guys, yeah. You know, you do the... If you've got kids, you're quite often your Facebook friends with the various mums on the schoolyard for sorting out, you know, play days and all that sort of stuff. And his mum's on Facebook, and I'll tell you what, you can see what she's... You can, in a post, you can see she's losing her mind, poor woman. I mean, we've you know, we've been through something similar, but nothing like that. Nothing, you know, it hit me hard, and we barely knew Beth. just talking about what you call it, Dylan, and that's
Dylan.
what. Yeah, Jez is down with the flu and just talking about and just saying, you know. I mean, it was hard enough for us with, you know.
Willow and the meningitis.
Yeah, and Beth before that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to get to Corbyn's, you know. Thank you, baby.
Yeah. Do you want a chocolate or anything?
No, I'm alright, thank you. But yeah, do you know what I mean? It's so sorry for the woman. So sorry. I mean, like I say, you know, we had Bethany and we lost Bethany early. But I always sort of, I'm not a religious person, you know, generally. But I've always sort of someone left me a quote and I've always taken comfort in it that, you know, and it's one that I regularly use with people that, you know, who lose a child and that sort of stuff. I'm not saying that it's regular, but you know what I mean. But two sort of lines. One, yeah, some journeys to heaven are shorter than others, which is comforting. Yeah, and the other one is in the case of a child, you know, especially in the case of, you know, Bethany in our case, yeah, all that child knew was love in their life. They knew no hardship, no harm, no anger, no rage, just love. Yeah, and they're very comforting words, but to lose a 12-year-old, oh man. Sorry, I'm getting a bit down, do you know what I mean? Sorry, it gets me. It's one of those things as a parent, isn't it? You know what I mean? Right, tell you what, let's pick this up a bit. I'm going to do some questions. I'm not going there, Mel will kill me. Ooh, what's that? Hello, you?
Hello.
What? Are you gate crashing the stream?
No,
yes.
we have biscuits and milk.
No, you gate crashing the stream. Oi, that's not a good enough hug. Give me another one when you come back.
Okay.
Go on, go get your biscuits. Yeah. It's all that damn milk they put in the tea, I'm telling you. I drink coffee. Did you know, yeah, that Americans drink more tea than Brits per head, per capita? Tea's really unpopular in Britain now. It's this Starbucks malarkey in our lattes. We live in lucky times. Mind, study history. Yeah, man. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, Lefty, I hear that as well. You're right. There's just there's an order to nature to a certain extent, and things like that. You know, it breaks that order. Dad, I love you. Can I have biscuits? Oh, it's perfectly normal, matey. Perfectly normal. Night Willow, he's not playing World of Tanks. Hugs makes it better. Always do. There are plenty of people in Arizona with the flu. Ooh. Not since Starbucks. Yeah, Lefty. What a timely hug, eh, Mal? Count your blessings. I do every day, mate. I mean, to be truthful, yeah, neither Willow or Corbyn were supposed to be here. You know, doctors told us on both cases with both of those, we weren't supposed to have them. You know, Corbyn came 3 months early. Yeah, well, Kez was very ill, and I had a doctor turn around to me and says, we're going to be lucky to save them both. Which one do you want to, you know, if you have a choice, who should we save between Kez or Corbyn? And then when Willow had meningitis, I've never seen a doctor scared. An A&E doctor, never seen an A&E doctor scared. I had my first cup of tea. Was that your first cup of tea in 2 years? Yeah, it was cold out there, wasn't it? See you, Nerd. Right, Nerd hasn't left a question, so he's not missing anything.
Love you.
Yeah, true. Come on, you. Give me a love. Big squeeze. Yes, you can get yourself on the screen. Look at that. It's not about Dad, is it? Eh? It's not. You look really white. The white balance is making you look like a ghost. Ooh.
Spooky.
Come on, give me a love. Come on, turn around. Come on, I've got my live show and you've got to get upstairs.
Aww.
It's a school day, and unless it carries on snowing, you'll be going. I know.
Carry on snowing.
You can make your wishes.
I know, my wishes always will come true.
I hear you fell hate, but you know that you can't.
Dad, James Bond never drank tea.
Did he not? Is that true? Right.
Look in your chat.
But no, James Bond never drank tea. Love you, Wilsey. Good night, God bless. Do you guys have a good time at the game show? Yeah, we were. And on the comment on the Doctor, yeah, I know. But at the same time, you know, when they're saving your wife and your kids' lives, you know, you sort of hero worship them, to be truthful. How much snow have you guys getting? I've got about an inch and a half on the car at the minute. Do they have snow days in Britain? Yeah, we have snow days. The irony is it doesn't take much to have a snow day in Britain because we have a bit of a problem where schools are majorly paranoid about getting sued because kids hurt themselves. So the remotest amount of snow on the ground and schools just lock doors. True words, those. Alright. I'll check it, Future Marine. I'll check it, dude. Right. Let's do some questions. 9 inches in. What's MI? MI? Massachusetts. Where would MI be? What would MI be? Maine? Never once seen snow. If you're not Fraser. Evening, Keeley. Yeah, Kez saying how lucky you are, Fraser. Snowed in Colorado yesterday. Winter wonderland here. Nice. Gin is a British drink. Beer is a British drink. Catch you later, Lefty. Minus 38.
Just on the off chance.
Uh-oh.
Have you got my lighter?
No. It's in my pocket. Love you. Michigan. Ah, Michigan. Right, guys. Got you. Bond does drink vodka martinis and vodka gin ones. 3 layers of sand waiting for the latest to dry. Oh, been there, done that. I've had one of those phone calls. Once you put your heart back in your chest, you can laugh about it. Only afterwards. Terrain, not outside. Question, do you like modern Cold War games? No, I don't. Yeah, I was talking with Fred at the show about this, and the basic concept of modern warfare and Cold War I'm a little bit okay with, yeah. But with a lot of the modern stuff, you've got to remember, my eldest lad is a serving soldier. He's in the army. You know, he's a corporal in the army. And there's a good chance that I could play a scenario, yeah, based on something he could get deployed to. Yeah, and I could never live with myself if I came home from a gaming club after playing a modern game to find out something had happened to him. You know, and I've been rolling dice and taking British troops or American troops off a table as a game. Yeah, so I have this sort of rule where I don't do modern. I'll do modern in the sense of zombie apocalypse. Do you know what I mean? So the zombie sort of stuff, you know, the Walking Dead sort of stuff, because it's like, well, there's very little risk to my kids with that, and with no offence, if it ever happens, we're all in the deep. You know what I mean? But modern warfare games, I kind of struggle. Miscast. Right, what's his question? Third question down. I'm making multi-layer syllables. Do you have any ideas on what I might use for risers? Miscast, if you haven't gone, go to the cake store. Get yourself cake risers. Yeah, you can get internal ones. They're brilliant. Yeah, Jace does the zombies. I don't game Vietnam or current state of affairs. No, I'm a little bit iffy about bolt action, to be truthful. Yeah, because I play Chindits, and I've met Chindits. Actual Chindits who were there in the games I've played, and that was a little bit iffy for me. Yeah. Especially zombie clowns. Don't you start with your zombie clowns, man. Oh, settle down, lad. Come on, grab your blanket. Right, let me get my phone. It's been a quiet night tonight, and not a single PayPal to be seen. Ooh, which one is real and which is casted? I'm going to say right. Right. Heavy thoughts about that, Mel? Yeah. Well, it's one of those things, you know. I suppose it's slightly different with me, one, serving, and two, having a child that serves. Do you know what I mean? That sort of puts those games in a different context for me. You know, where, like I say, I would never forgive myself if I found out something had happened to my lad. You know what I mean? While I was playing a Modern Warfare game. And I suppose it's why I sort of avoid doing terrain for modern stuff and that sort of stuff. It's a bit, what you call it? It's a bit tempting fate. Do you know what I mean? I don't like it. Jace just say no with his zombie clowns. I'm currently working on 6mm extended World War II. Basically, it's an alternative universe where World War II carried on until 1970. Something like that sounds cool. What's the best strategy game in your opinion? Both tabletop and computer console. Probably Parenthood. Oz, what? What? I've got nothing for you. I've got nothing. Do you want love? Oh, now you're going to Mum because I've got nothing. Can't do Mogadishu or anything after 1930. I can't do anything. Yeah, there's a few people who have a, you know. So, Jez. Yeah, I live in Newcastle, so I can't play Necromunda. It's too near. Harsh, man. That's harsh. I had World War III RPG ready, starting from Ukraine. We had the day set. Crimea happened. The game was instantly canned. So, yeah. That sort of stuff happens, you know. Ozzy wants the duck. I don't know where his duck is. He's hid it. Where's your duck? Where's your ducky? Where's your ducky? He's looking at me like, you're talking to me? What are you talking about? Is it food? Someone has his ducky. Yeah, someone's got his ducky. He doesn't know where he's put it. Last time, he hid it down there somewhere. Is it down there? What have you done with your ducky? Or is it under the table? Is that why you're hovering by the table? No ducky under there. I don't know what you've done with your little... He's got a little duck and he loves his little duck. Right, send more ducks. Okay. Right, throw your questions in the dock and I'll start answering questions now because we're coming on past. We've got a few. So I'll run through the questions. Once we're caught up, we'll carry on having a bit of a natter, eh? Right. First question from Dave, yeah? How do I cut holes in foam board? I need a 1-inch hole for a plastic bit. Can be quite tricky to cut holes in foam board. What you really need to do is you want something along the lines of a template, like these. Yeah, and then you can sort of mark it out and cut it round. But there are specialist foam board cutting tools. What you need to do is have a look for architectural modelling tools. And what they've got is they've got a little cutter, yeah, that's on like a protractor, yeah, but it's a blade and it can cut perfect circles in foam board. And it's used by the architects. Yeah, so you want to have a look for architectural modelling tools. And you'll see one in there, a circle cutter. I think they're about £4 or £5, but they work beautifully. And they're all adjustable and that sort of stuff, mate. So, that's my recommendation for cutting an inch hole in, foam board. Or cutting any holes in foam board. Okay, alright, golden. So, I'm making a 2x2 display piece for an alien beach. What should I use for the incline from deep water to shoreline? Foam, mate. Polystyrene I would use. Either expanded polystyrene, shaped and then covered with filler, or go for high density. But yeah, I mean, it's your basic building material. Foam's going to be Get a hole saw drill bit and rotate it clockwise on your drill. Ah, that's shifting sands, Matt. What's shifting sands? You can get them from the works. From the works in the works. Can you, Gary? I haven't seen them there. Also scrapbooking supplies. Right, there you are. So, Oh! Oh, it's Shifting Sands. Is that what you call it? Is that what? Yeah, of course it is. That's Gerard's bloody company, isn't it? Yeah, these are from Shifting Sands. Along with quite a few other bits. Sorry, Gerard. He sent me a load of bits to have a play with and showcase on the channel. Yeah, I asked him for him, you know what I mean? Because I wanted to have a play with his tools. But yeah, now I know who Shifting Sands is. Yeah, so the cutters are in the works. Yeah, so display board 2x2. We want a foam incline. Right, Miscast Terrain. Yeah, he's doing the multi-level city board. I know he's gone, but he might catch up and he may have caught, or he might catch the stream later to see the answers. So, Miscast, to use the risers, have a nose at have a nose at cake shops for the cake stands. They do internal ones as well as the fancy pillars. Yeah, that'll work out quite well. Other than that, make them out of foam board. Oz, go lie down, for God's sake. Lie down. Thank you. Right, so from Tim. 2 questions. A bit cheeky, Tim. 2 questions. From now on, we will call you 2 Question Tim. How would you make chlorine or other gas markers, dyed or painted polyfill? Cotton? Polyfill, probably. Yeah, if you're not aware what polyfill... You do my head in, dog. Kaz? Let the dog in there. He's just up and down, up and down. Thank you. Right. Yeah, polyfill. If you don't know what polyfill is, it's the stuffing for teddy bears and things like pillows. Polyfill, probably. Yeah. Nice mustard yellow. Yeah. Go and have a look at, what did I use polyfill for? Was it the flickering smoke markers in the Let's Make playlist? I think so. Second question. How would you make a forest that looks like it's been hit by artillery? Like the pictures of Baloo Wood in World War One. What do you call it? First off, go and have a look at the scorched wood tutorial in the Let's Makes for the actual burnt trees and that sort of stuff. Then after that, it's just breaking your trees and splintering them. They always used to call them exploding trees. Polyfill soaked in ink or super thin down paint. I normally spray paint them. Does polyfill take dye? Well, it's plastic, isn't it? So I wouldn't have thought it would. Right, okay, next question from Mart. Yeah. What's the best way to make warp-proof, strong, exactly round bases that measures 7.2 centimeters? It's for a diorama. Depends on the thickness, mate. If you want to go for warp-proof, then go for a metal base. Simple as. Yeah. Just find a metal worker and get them to cut you a disc. CDs? What's a CD? That's a bit more than 7 inches, isn't it? What's that? 7 centimeters? Mini CD? That's about... They're pretty unwarpable, to be truthful. Although someone in the terrainiacs managed to warp one, which was quite impressive. But that looks about roughly the right size, so, you know, that could work. 2 Question Tim it is then. Alright, Tim. Yeah, so I'd probably go with that. After that, you're stepping up through thick plastic card. If you go up to about 2-3 mil with plastic, well, 2 mil, it's pretty tough stuff. Absolutely love my 3D printer for all kinds of bases of all sizes and textures. I want to get into 3D printing and laser cutting. Yeah, as to understand it, you know what I mean, is to do little stuff. It's just too much of an investment at the minute, so I haven't got time right now. Right, next question for Martin the Warrior. Mal, I'm wondering if you have any techniques to achieve a stone wall look, one like the old GW plastic buildings. Yeah, mate. What you call it? Go and have a look at how to do stone wall techniques in the urban playlist. Terrain Techniques Urban you want for that one. There's a video on engraving foam and making it look like stone and that sort of stuff in there. So that's already been done for you. Right, Thor Grand 3. How would you go about making really twisted, spooky looking apple tree orchard? I'd probably do the standard sort of wire trees. There's videos in the Terrain Techniques foliage and green stuff playlist on that. Yeah. And if you want to go spooky, you want to sculpt some like almost faces on them in the bark. You know what I mean? That could be a face. Yeah. Bend them out a bit. Also, go back to the polyfill that we were talking about earlier. Little bits of those stretched between them can make really good cobwebs and that sort of stuff. That's how I'd go about doing that. Now, that brings all my questions up to date. Yeah, so that's all the questions so far. It's still open. We'll have another go at 10, yeah? Oh, sorry, dude. Nerd Shack, I deleted that by accident. Sorry, dude. I was trying to click approve. I shouldn't do this admin stuff. Nice, just need to scale artillery. Right, okay. Jason's putting it in the Facebook group. Martin Warrior's cool. Diggy's cool. Everyone's cool. Mel, sorry for any trouble. I need a sec. Yeah, no worries, Max. Catch you later, dude. I don't have Twitter. Who's on Twitter then? I've been playing with Twitter recently. I like Twitter. I'm just not that much of a tweeter. I just want to check something. I just don't want to be missing anyone. I don't mind if it's a quiet night. It's just I don't want to miss anyone. My fingerprint is recognised, you git. Okay. Ninth of Feb. No, we're all good. We are all good. Right, that's sound. I thought I'd missed someone for a second then. So we're caught up. Actually, I'm a little hot. I ain't cool. Calm down, Larissa. Mel, rugby or football? Neither. Right, what reason? Rugby's all right, yeah. Football, I trained after I came out of the army as a physiotherapist, yeah. And then I trained as an FA physiotherapist, and I got licensed by the FA Medical Centre over at Lillyshaw, yeah, to work in the Premier League. And I've worked at Stoke City, Crewe Alex, and Port Vale, yeah, as a physiotherapist. And I got really disillusioned with the sports, to be truthful. Yeah, once you actually sort of inside, you know, the spark will lose, and you know when you're mixing with the players and you get to know them and that sort of stuff, sort of loses its what you call it. I do like football, but to be perfectly honest, I like amateur football, Sunday League, the guys who pay to play because they're paying to play. The passion's there. I mean, they may not be able to kick a ball for save their life, but at least the passion's there, and that's what I like to watch. Yeah, questions are coming through. I've had another 5 just, so we'll do those. Choose paid now that I remembered. We'll do those in a minute as well. We'll give it 10 minutes. All the big clubs then. Well, I mean, you got to remember I'm from Stoke, so you know when I was training, they were the local clubs that I got time to work in. I did a lot of time at Crewe Alex. I was at Crewe Alex when they went up, and when Dario was there, and that was a good do. But Crewe got a bit tainted, didn't it, because of all the stuff that was going on. I'm saying, I see your point about modern war games pushing good thoughts towards your son and the rest of your family. Your boy will be safe and sound. I'm not overly concerned about Des. Yeah. One of the lucky things is he's an Apache mechanic. Okay. So if he does get deployed, he'll be on a good, secure base. And my only concern is if an Apache crashes, he'll have to go out to blow it up and deactivate it and that sort of stuff. Yeah, so that's a little bit risky, but from what I understand, if that happens, they only go out with special forces. So be well looked after. So yeah, but thanks mate, I appreciate that. Liverpool are magic. Kat's just said a YouTube notification's just come through. YouTube's Beatles or Bowie? Bowie. Every time. Starman. I saw a wonderful little, what you call it. You know Tesla put his Roadster in space, yeah? And then what you call it? And then they've named the guy in the suit in the Roadster Starman. I saw a great post on Facebook where they got a photo, yeah, of David Bowie acting and playing Tesla in a film. Then underneath it, they've got what you call it. So it got Bowie playing Tesla. Then underneath, they've got a photo of Starman, and it's got Tesla playing Bowie underneath it. And I thought that was brilliant. The 75 degrees, that'd be lovely. Lovely. Yeah, I like Bowie out of all of them. Beatles were a bit before my time, to be truthful. Probably my parents' one. Bowie was a little bit before my time, but because he was more rocky, I sort of carried on and took the flow with that. You know what I mean? Can anyone confirm what's on the back of his chair? It keeps getting missed. It's the kids' what you call it, Minions dressing gown. We like Minions here. I get quite a bit of entertainment for £1 a week or so, so you're welcome. Thank you, Odin. I will jump on it in a second. Right, guys, we've had another 5 questions. I'm going to be jumping on the questions in another 10 minutes. Bowie changed with the times. Dude has missed. Yeah, I always remember that one where he does what you call it. Do you remember the Christmas one he did with that old guy? I don't know who the old guy was. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Kat, are your kids okay? It's Rocky Balboa. I thought it was a Fallout Vault suit. I very much dislike Minions. Nerd, really? You like Iron Maiden? Yeah. Yeah. AC/DC, Iron Maiden, Death Leopard, Whitesnake, Black Sabbath, Kiss. That was my music growing up, you know what I mean? I was very much... I mean, believe it or not, before Mel joined the army, Mel had hair down to his shoulders. Shut up. Shut up. Leave it out the comments. Don't even start. Question. Okay, throw it in the questions, dude. Bing Crosby. Yeah, that was the guy. Little drummer boy, Bing Crosby. That... Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, moving bit of footage. So gentle, do you know what I mean? And to see Bowie and watch her in a Christmas jumper. Do you play? Oh yes, I play. Do. You have good taste in music. I'm quite eclectic when it comes to my music. There's a lot of modern stuff, yeah, that I have no time for whatsoever. And I'm one of these people that Kez always turns around to me and sort of says, you put no effort into learning who singers are, who actors are. Yeah, and I'm like, no, I do, if they're good. If they're good, I know them. Yeah, if they're not good, I'm not going to waste my time learning about them. You know what I mean? Deletes half-written comment about hair. It burns. Up the irons. Thor starring Mel. Oh, the Thor one was brilliant. Not my hair! Not my hair! Stan Lee goes in. Do you know what? The latest Thor movie, yeah, me and Kez giggled our tits off all the way through that. That was a good movie. Now it's just sprouting out of his shoulders and none on his head. Me too. Right, catch you later, Green Nat. I had hair like that too. I had to take mine off for the army. I almost cried. Right, 10 minutes. Get your questions in while you can, guys. Click the right button this time, but yeah, that's all right. Jace or Cat jumped on it before I cocked it up. Hey, sorry about joining late. Just got off the phone with the home insurance company. Everything all right, Graham? Electric funeral. 9-inch nails. That's when you're getting into real. Teen Spirit, that was another good one. 15 questions so far. I grew mine after the army. I didn't have a choice. Never really grew back. The problem was, yeah, obviously anyone who serves in the army will tell you, yeah, that once you've done a reasonable amount of time in the army, you're pretty much looking at baldness, because your helmet rubs the top of your head, okay, and that's what makes you bald. Yeah, and so trying to grow it back, you end up with that old rocker look with like hair down at the sides and completely polished on top. Water leak coming down from the wall with all the snow. Right, get the insurance, sort that, dude. It's Gangnam Style. He only gets into the good new stuff. What do you think of Vallejo earth textures? They're filler and paint, mate. Make your own. No, I mean, they're nice enough. You've got to remember, Vallejo does a lot of stuff for dioramas, and if you're doing dioramas, then Vallejo stuff is a good way to go. If you're doing terrain, it's too expensive to realistically be able to do terrain with, so you want to be looking at, you know, mixing fillers and grit with paint and a bit of PVA. Mine was lost due to wearing caps all the time. Yeah, that'll get you. I got that without serving. I got Voltaire. Right, I've got some questions. Someone says they paid their dues. Yeah, but it still ain't coming up with any notifications. Is PayPal working? Oh yeah, no notifications, but I've got a nugget from Harry. So we'll get Harry on the screen, yeah, and then we'll do some questions, guys, because you guys are waiting for some answers, aren't you? Right, let's get Aradin on the screen for his. He has paid his dues. Thank you, buddy. There you go, dude. We'll keep Gary on from last week. I think he only jumped on at the end of the show. Right, that's everyone for this show. Right, let's have a look at some questions. 16 questions. What would you use to make snow, either terrain or miniature base? To be honest, to making snow, a lot of people go down the bicarb route. Now, if you're going down the bicarb route, then you need to mix white acrylic in with it. Bicarb has a tendency to yellow over time, to oxidize. Yeah, so adding the paint certainly helps that. Moving on from that to professional products, you're looking in two pretty... Professional products fall into two camps. Yeah, you've either got like 1mm white static grass, which is very fluffy and powdery and can look beautiful, but could be a real bitch to seal. Or the other side is you've got basically plastic shavings, which is like the stuff from Woodland Scenics. Yeah, that works really well, seals really well as well. Yeah, unless you were at Robin today, where I picked up 10 Vallejo paints for £10. Really? I missed that one. Yeah, but there are your options for snow. Bicarb, you got to mix some what. If you do, bicarb works well if you mix it with white acrylic filler. Yeah, you know, acrylic sealing, that works well because it's got the white in. Tim sent a PayPal. Thank you, buddy. I will check it shortly. Right, okay. Building a Vietnam hilltop style fire base with lots of sandbags in 28mm. Want to add some Hescos. Any idea what to make them out of? Right, if you want to do Hescos, have a look at, what's the damn stuff? What's the stuff called that you use for sticking sheets of plasterboard together and putting a mesh in between the rim? You get this weird tape, and it's a bit like mesh tape, but it's adhesive. And what you do is, to make Hescos, you get a block of foam, you wrap this tape round it, then you just put a bit of glue at the top and put a bit of gravel, and that will make your Hescos. Yeah, it works wonders really well. I should do a tutorial on it, shouldn't I? You did miss your question being answered. Right, so yeah, that's how I do Hescos. Can I use polyfill instead of modelling plaster? Yeah, I use polyfiller well, I don't use polyfiller, but I use standard filler quite a lot. Yeah, no issues whatsoever. Drywall tape, yeah, that's the stuff. So have a look for what's good for drywall tape. Going back to the question about exploding trees, what would you make the trees out of so you could explode them? To be truthful, I'd buy plastic armatures, yeah, the ones that plug in, yeah, and I'd just savage the bases and the bottom of the armature, and then cut a couple of pieces off, yeah, and do it that way. Use Tamiya barrels, then glue sand to the tops of them to make makeshift Hescos. Did they have Hescos in Nam? I would have thought they'd have something like Hescos. I mean, they have plenty of sandbags. And you got to remember, Hescos are just modern, Hescos are named after the company that makes them, Hesco. Yeah? But they're essentially modern gabions. Now, gabions have been around long enough, yeah, for people to know about them in a military term. Okay, next question. Is buying a paint sprayer worthwhile to save time, mainly for my Gondor outdoor post? If you're talking about like an industrial sprayer or something like that, it's only worthwhile if you're a terrain maker, mate, and it's part of your tool set. If you're buying it just for one board, yeah, painting a Gondor board or painting a full board, because I mean, the paint sprayers are only good for base coating. Yeah, and perhaps getting general shades on it. They're no good for any sort of controlled work. So that's only one little stage of the actual build you're going to be saving time on. And if it's only that one build you're doing, yeah, then I think you're going to struggle. Secondly, if you're doing Gondor, that tends to suggest a lot of ruined buildings. You're going to have problems with that with a paint sprayer, because you're going to have, like, you know, issues where you're spraying one side of a building, then you've got to come in the other side. Now you can work around with this paint sprayer, but you'll end up flooding the board. So to be truthful, with a Gondor board, unless you've got an airbrush and you've got a little bit more control, I'd probably just go with the brush, dude. What are Hescos? But yeah, go with the brush. Hescos are essentially modern gabions, and what they are cages of rocks, yeah, used as a barrier to prevent projectiles. Yeah, they're like one up on a sandbag. Imagine you change sand and material to a cage with rocks. Quite often when you have a look at modern footage, such as Afghanistan, with our forces over there, and they've got their FOBs, their forward operating bases, you'll see that the walls made out of essentially blocks of like cages of rocks. They're Hescos. Looking for tips to turn a tank hull into a bunker fortification or hold down tank. Kind of like the old Bulgarian border defences with panzers and stugs. Dead simple. Yeah, you've just got to cut the bottom off your tank and bury it. That's all it is, and then just milli-put or filler up the sides. I do it with, I've got a few of those, and I did them with Gale Force 9's tanks. Because Gale Force 9, they do, like, when they provide a tank, quite often they'll provide an alternative top chassis for it. Yeah, and so you can use the top, so when you build the tank, you'll have a spare top chassis and a spare gun left over. Yeah, and so quite often I take those and I just stick them on a CD with a bit of filler around them and make an embedded tank. But that's the best way of doing that. I'm looking for ideas for neon signs, shiny stuff, 28mm MDF kits. Right, you want to have a look at a couple of companies. One, Micro Art Studios. Yeah, they're... Whenever you get to the shiny neon stuff, you want to be looking for terrain made for infinity. So you've got the guys over in Poland, Micro Art Studios. In the UK, you've got Antonicity's Workshop. They do some beautiful neon stuff. And what's the bloody company in the US that does really good acrylics? Mel's getting old, can't remember. But there's a company in the US that does it. One of the guys, one of the terrainiacs in the comments will know who I'm talking about. But Europe, you're looking at either Antonicity's Workshop or you're looking at Micro Art Studio. Both do really good neon stuff. Catch you later, nerd. Yeah, they do use Hescos to shore up rock faces and sea walls. You quite often see them when you see cuttings of roads that go through hill. You know, they'll have the steps of stairs of rocks in cages. They're Hescos. What's the actual company called? Just let me check, because it is Hesco, innit? The reason I know is because I did a post on Hesco on Patreon or something, and ever since I've been hammered by companies in China wanting to sell me cheap Hescos. Yeah, protection solutions around the world. Hesco Bastion Limited. It is. The people who make Hescos. Hesco Bastion. Yeah, very quick. They're getting a little bit of promotion here. So listen, do me a favour. Yeah? Someone send him an email and say, did you know the terrain tutor talks about you? You should have seen his live show. And give him a timestamp about an hour in. I might get a free, I might get a free Hesco out of it. Okay, can I screen share? I don't know if I can screen share. But Hesco Bastion is a modern gabion primarily used for flood control and military fortifications. It's made of a collapsible wire mesh container and a heavy-duty fabric liner, and is used as a temporary to semi-permanently levy or blast wall against explosive and small arms. It has seen considerable use in Iraq and Afghanistan. Yeah, developed in the late 1980s by a British company of the same name, Hesco Bastion. Yeah, but essentially they're gabions. Yeah. Gabions, back in the days of old cannon fire and stuff like that, they used to make them out of wicker baskets full of earth. But yeah, that's the Hesco one. Right. Mel, if you could own any military vehicle, past or present, money no object, what would you have and why? Warrior. 17 grand they are, because I can drive one on a UK roads because it's on my license. When I was a medic, I did a the medics use various ambulances. Now they have the standard sort of 3/4 ton, yeah, ambulance, which is based on the old long wheelbase chassis, yeah, with a box body on the back. Then they have the 1 ton Land Rover drop ambulance, which is a beast, and I trained on that. And then there's an armoured version. Well, there's a couple of armoured versions, yeah. The one I actually trained on is the 432, yeah, and so that was what I trained to drive, yeah, as a tracked vehicle. But because I've got that on my license, it means I can drive a Warrior, yeah, and Warriors are brilliant, yeah. Infantry fighting vehicle, so it's not a proper battle tank. It's not a main battle tank or an MVT. Yeah, so it's got, is it a 50 cal on it? I think it's got a 50 cal on it. It's not got an anti-tank gun on it. Yeah, the way they work it is with infantry fighting vehicles, they don't put guns on the top of them that can take out tanks. Okay, they put guns on them that can take out infantry, and the reason for this is, yeah, that for a main battle tank, if you're driving around, your biggest threat is anyone with a gun that can hit you. Yeah, so if an infantry fighting vehicle, which is relatively lightly armoured compared to a main battle tank, doesn't have a gun that can hit you, yeah, you're less likely to shoot at it, which means the squad of 10 men in the back of it, yeah, are less likely to die from tank fire. Yeah, so it's very much a case of, I'm not a threat to you, tank, so don't kill me. Yeah, so, but I've always liked the Warrior. The Warrior can stop on a 10p piece. Literally, you can stop it. Yeah, and when you stop a Warrior, the back end goes up. I mean, it can do, what you call it, it can do 50 miles an hour. Yeah, which is bloody fast in a tank. It's a 30mm on a Warrior, is it? Right, there you go. Yeah, 50mm would take it up a bit, wouldn't it? I can see that. One morning you wake up and there is one in your front garden. At one point, I was seriously considering buying a 432. I lived in the country, I had a field behind my house, and I had an agreement with the farmer, and there was one going for $2.5 grand. Yeah, but the biggest problem with buying a tank isn't buying a tank. Okay? The biggest problem with buying a tank is maintaining a tank. If you're not actually a tanker, yeah, then if something breaks on a tank, then it costs a fortune. But my son is in the Royal Engineers. No, he's not Royal. Is he Royal Engineers? No, he's REME, isn't he? Royal Engineers, silly boy. He's REME attached to the army. He should have gone land systems instead of air systems. Then he could have repaired my tank. Tamsin with quicker. It's 30mm on the Warrior. There you go. Anyone use EPS foam chunks for sturdy tree foliage? Yeah, all the time, mate. It's an old school technique. Yeah, really sturdy. Yeah, they use it for old school wargaming. Right, I better move on. I've got 2 questions left. If you've got a question to ask, you've probably got about 4 or 5 minutes to get it in before I lock the questions down. Yeah, so last chance to get your questions in, guys. I'll go through these last 2. Mel, what is the best way to do rubble, like the rubble you see on Golden Demon standard dioramas? Whenever I try it, it never looks as good as those guys can do it. And I'm not talking about the paint job. I think what you've got to remember is investment in time. You know, Golden Demon guys, they can invest 40 hours in a base and they can scratch build all the bricks, everything, yeah, place things down. So it's simply time. The problem is you're trying to get Golden Demon standard, yeah, probably on your terrain, which is a lot bigger than a model base. And that's why it's frustrating you, because to invest the amount of time you need to get that level, yeah, and to work it out over such, I mean, it's something I struggle with, realistic rubble. And a lot of because it's just one of those things that actually it requires quite a lot of unique pieces, yeah, that are properly modelled to carry it off. And that on a large scale can be really challenging. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's really about taking your time. And if you want to do it over terrain, I'd look more at a rubble mix, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. There was a farm near me and the owner had a Harrier, Sea King and other aircraft sat all lined up. When you went to the farm shop, you could have a look at them. That's smart. That's very smart. Track vehicles are in constant need of maintaining. Exactly. Exactly. Same got gone on the Scimitar. Yeah, that Scimitar's the other, what you call it? That is it Scimitar? No, it isn't. Is it? Is that the other, what you call, armoured ambulance? That sort of came in later. When I was in, the only armoured ambulance we had was the 432. And the final question is a bit of a weird one. What do you think of funny song like Word All? I have no idea what that question even means. Word All? Right, that's my questions. I'm locking it down. That's the questions done for this time. If you've got a quick question, you can throw it in the comments while I'm still here. Yeah. My dad served with QDJ. Queens what? I don't know. Rubble paste. There's a tutorial on it on YouTube by Eons of Battle, I believe. They are rubble paste. Mel, what does the schedule look like for this week? you've got videos coming. You've got a video on Tuesday. You've got a video on Saturday. I'm doing a live show on Thursday. The only thing with the Thursday is I might not be in the studio. The reason being, okay, is that Thursday is Kerry's first day on a placement, so it's her first day at work. Yeah, which means she's going to be coming home at work. There's kids, that sort of stuff. So I'm probably going to be at home for that Thursday, and then we'll be in studio back to normal after that. But yes, live show on Thursday. Yeah, to be truthful, I'll probably have foreground kits or something. I'll be working on those at home because I can work on those. Yeah, for this Stalingrad board. But video out on Tuesday, video out on Saturday. The Tuesday video is all recorded. It's already loaded and it's up there. The Saturday one is almost done. So, sorry, word, all funny songs. I don't mind the odd funny song, you know. But like I said, I don't take much notice of it. But yeah, we've got videos coming anyway. The Samaritan was the ambulance. Would have been around when you were in, I think. Same family as Scimitar and the Scorpion. Yeah, I've seen them, but they weren't around when I was in, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I was in at the change from sort of Cold War to Iraq War. Do you know what I mean? Rubble has not looked uniform. I always struggle with that. We all struggle with that, dude. We all struggle with that. Have you done on how to do waterfalls? No. No, we haven't covered waterfalls. Water was one of the, water was one of the topics for this year I want to play with quite a lot with. Yes, Bill, I'm doing, could that be Weird Al? Yeah, I've never even heard of him, mate, so no, yeah. But no, Stalingrad board, yeah, we're doing that. The one horror film that will terrify Mel, Attack of the Killer Motes. I've been thinking about my castle build recently, actually. I think we need to get that on. I have an idea on how to make it work. Glue down and then throw the rubble gently, that might help. Rubble's a challenge. Hey, do you all have Valentine's hype marketing? Oh God, yeah. Yeah, Valentine's Day is crazy here in the UK. But I don't have to worry about that this year because it's Kerry's turn. Patrick's asking, Star Wars Legion build, what plan is it going to be? Well, this was quite interesting because this is the one where we had like over 1,400 people voting and it turned out exactly 50-50. Yeah, between Tatooine and Mustafa. Because it's Corb's build, yeah, we're going to start off with Tatooine, yeah, while he learns the craft. And then I'm going to have a play with doing lava on Mustafa. It's possible the Samaritan was only used with armoured and armoured recce units. It's quite possible. I never saw one when I was in, to be perfectly honest, Tam. And I never saw one on any of the medical bases, you know, at Keo or anything like that. Do you ever use your Hearst Arts moulds anymore, Mel? Very rarely. Yeah. Hearst Arts are great for kids and playing with things, but when you start, when you start getting into serious terrain, one, they can take a long time to cast up enough blocks and then a long time to build terrain with it. Secondly, it can be quite heavy. So you tend to use Hearst Arts blocks when there's a need. Yeah? Don't forget sewer entrances. Stalingrad was fought above and below ground level. I've got to work it all. I've got to do a Stalingrad board and then combine it with sci-fi pieces because they sent me Stalingrad and sci-fi stuff. Yeah, I would probably recognise the songs. I just don't know. I don't pay much attention to musicians and stuff like that. It's just me and my two cats. Look at you. No, we do this thing, me and Kez do. We take turns. So it's my turn to be treated on Valentine's Day. It's Mustafa. That's the Lion King's dad. No, Mustafa was was the Lion King's uncle. No, that was Scar, wasn't it? So yeah, it was his dad. Oh, Diggy. So yeah, coming up, We are back on schedule now. I have learned all the shiny new things with my camera. I have got videos coming out for you. It's just a little bit up and down because Kerry starts a placement this week with the live show. After that, I might shift the day of the live show around, depending on what's going on and how we organise childcare and that sort of stuff while Kez is on placement. Mel, with the repairs I have coming, replacing sliding glass door walls insulation, I might see if we can get some extra insulation out for terrain. Nice, Graham. Hey, Westy. But no, what do you call it? It's shaping up to be a good year, to be truthful. I'm glad to get back into terrain again. I spent a little bit too much time at tail end of last year working on, you know, all this sort of stuff and learning all this sort of stuff and the audio and the editing and Mustafa. People are describing it to me. Sounds like Necromunda to me. Calm down, Matt. I'm doing a snow and ice board next. What colour should I do all the buildings? Dark. Remember, with snow and ice, yeah, buildings are wet, so they're darker. So yeah, I'm glad to be back in the train and doing the train again. Yeah, got a couple of builds. I've got a couple of personal builds. I've got a couple of commissions on the go. Yeah, we may be doing some, what you call it, some 6mm stuff. I'll be doing a 6mm board, but I might have to sit on the content, you know what I mean, until something is released. Dark grey, yeah, dark grey, Westy. Castles. I've got an idea of how to make the castle work. Yeah. Any ideas for whitewash camo? No. Go to a model builder, mate. Darth Vader's home. Dark blue. I'd go with grey. Grey always works well with what you call it with snow. Darth Vader's home. Where is Darth Vader? What? Darth Vader, is that? Darth Vader is Anakin. What planet? Anakin's from Tatooine as well, isn't he? Yeah. Mustafa is is a nice planet. See, I'm pronouncing it right. But I think we're going to start off with Tatooine because Corbin wants to do that one. Now, I'll fly my little slave one round it and kick his ass. Do things on ice planets rust? Yeah, they must. It's oxidization, isn't it? And water would increase the rusting process, surely. So yeah. Or do metal stay pristine? No, they don't. Because they... Westy, what I do is I go and search Google for, what you call it, photos of old whaling stations in the Arctic Circle. Ah, first time doing spotting PVA rather than doing the usual ring. Nice one, Rudy. Right, very quickly, I better check in case anyone's made any donations just before we sign off, because that'd be a git, wouldn't it? Someone makes a donation and, you know, they're not on screen. Yes, there's my fingerprint. Oh, we've had, what you call it, Tim and Jay. We've had a quid from both of them. So let's get Jay on. Jay Joe. Right, 2 guys. A couple more quid. We've had a wow. £3 this show. See, this is what happens when I don't have a target. Alright, first off, Tim R. No message. Thank you, Tim. Thanks for the nugget, dude. Let's get him on the screen. Yeah, and then we've got JJ. There you are, buddy. Thanks, guys. It is appreciated. It is appreciated, you know, big and small. It all goes in the pot. Space lava rocks, £5. Yeah, I need to pick up some lava rocks. We need to do a bit of a tutorial on what you call it. I picked up some, what you call it, some old Star Trek models. And I've got Deep Space Nine. I've started breaking it apart, yeah, so I can use the parts on our Star Wars board. Mustafa is where Vader's palace is. Ah. So you got Tatooine, which is where Vader started, and Mustafa where he finished. We could do the story of Vader. No, I'm not doing the Death Star. Do Planet Hoth. Everyone does Hoth. Thank you, Thorgan. Thanks, buddy. So, the new computer setup for the studio is through already? No. We went completely diverged. Yeah, and we had a conversation. And I spent all the money on upgrading the camera gear and the audio instead. Because, what you call it, Pete from the Wargamer was selling his missus's camera. And it was like £450 cheaper than it should have been. So I was like, I'm having that. Stuff rusts in ice but slower. If there's melt periods or the melt is heated, like a rust faster. Yeah, because it'd be an oxidization, wouldn't it? So it'd be a chemical process. Rusting is a substance desired to return to its natural state. Do the Klingon home planet. Yeah, that'd just be bits, wouldn't it? Heresy. Cannibalizing Star Trek for Star Wars builds. Yeah, I thought that's going to cause a bit of an uproar. Do Alderaan. Boom! Lava rock. Well, if you're looking for any X-Wing ships, let me know. I've got a local game store that's got everything included. Some of the hard ones to find. To be truthful, I don't buy that many ships, dude. You know, of all the games to fall into, X-Wing was probably the most expensive game for me to fall into. Hoth just means we could bring out the Imperial Walkers. I'll be interested to see if they do, what you call it, do like a 6mm game. Like a land X-Wing, you know what I mean? That'll be interesting. Oh, Ewok Village Planet, yeah. The problem with all those planets is from an X-Wing point of view, they're not playable. Do you know what I mean? Unless you put the perspex across the top. But yeah, there's a lot of what you call it. The problem with to do those sort of planets, you really need to get into Legion. Yeah, and those planets are too detailed, and Legion is too expensive, and I'm not engaged with Fantasy Flight in that way. That it's just not viable for me to do those projects. Make all those little Ewoks. Any thoughts on your choice of cameras? Brand, what do you mean by that, mate? My choice of cameras. Legion is coming out soon, though. Yeah, I know Legion's coming out soon, but it's going to be one of those. I mean, X-Wing is a pretty expensive ticket for me anyway, you know, because we're on a budget here, as always. Yeah. I mean, with things like bolt action and stuff like that, Warlord like me. So that isn't an expensive hobby for me and the kid, you know, if you get my meaning. But with X-Wing, X-Wing is an expensive hobby. And so, don't drop my phone. And so, you know, we get occasional bits for X-Wing. And I don't want to buy into Legion because it'll be the same situation. Go to a place called Action if you go over to Europe. They have huge Star Wars ships for less than €15 and you could trash them. Could anyone send me a Star Destroyer? I'll give you the cash if you can price it and let me know the scale, because I'd love to put that on a board. Just surface rust. Oh, wow. If it's solidly in ice without oxygen, of course, it doesn't rust. Yeah, because it's oxidization. You know, this is how we find dead bodies and people in, you know, in ice and that sort of stuff. So, right, I think I'm going to wrap this up now, because I've rambled enough. I've answered your questions and we've had a good show. Yeah, but my bladder is telling me it's been an hour and a half. I've gone to the toilet that many times after this show that round about 10:30 my bladder starts screaming at me. Jace nodded off. It's been a long day, Jace. Star Wars diorama? Possibly, maybe, I don't know. Yeah? Wes, do you have a nose for me, mate? Yeah, I hear you. Tammy, make a model of that. I'll keep an eye out for that. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up now because I do need a bit of a bladder break. Just to check in with you guys, Tuesday will be the next video out. I should be live on Thursday, and then we have another video out on Saturday. And then, fingers crossed, we should keep that rolling. For all of you who are interested in storage, not this week coming, the week after, got a bit of a design video for you there. Yeah, because loads of people asked for tips on storing terrain, so I did another talkie. Yeah, so that's coming as well. In the meantime, listen guys, thanks for joining me this Sunday night. Have a great week, and I will see you next Sunday night. To my moderators, Westy, Kat, and Jace, thank you to Jace, Fred, and Corbin today. Thanks for a great day. I know Corbin's upstairs, but thanks, guys. And I'll see you soon. All the best, yeah? Let me find my button. Ta-da.